Hello everybody, my name is Marlo and welcome back to the survival world. I am up here at the top of the meeting hall in the mayor's room and I'm lodged in the window here. Let's exit out and go downstairs. So today what we are going to be doing is actually planning this village. The village here that we've already made a lot of work on and have been doing so for the past 3 episodes. Only today I'm deciding to plan it, and I think it was 2 episodes ago, I showed you my just general rough plan for the entire idea of the village, but today I would like to, lay out some blocks in physical form and get a better idea of where everything's going to be located. So, as you guys know, the village is kind of split into 2 separate sections. We've got over here where all of the visitors are going to go, and over here where all of the villagers are going to live. So I would like to get this area over here kind of planned out. So we're going to be placing in all of the pathways and figuring out where the houses are going to go and the working buildings as well. So yeah, that's the plan anyway. I'm not even sure if it's going to be that beneficial to me or not. I've never really planned out a village like that before. Whenever I've made them, and I've made my fair few share of them in the past, I kind of just place them down or place buildings down as I see fit and just kind of go with the flow. So yeah, maybe we'll see if actually planning out beforehand is going to help or not. I don't know, but I think it should be a good experiment either way. But before we start planning the village, I just want to give a quick thank you to you guys for the support and feedback I received last episode on all of the boats that we built. As I said in the video, I'm not exactly experienced in building boats, so to read all of the very nice comments, it was very lovely to do that. So I thank you for that. There were also some suggestions to add, squid are flying again. Perhaps a tourist boat was suggested, a way to bring visitors into the village. A Nordic boat was actually suggested a couple of times, so there are still some boats that we could build perhaps further on down the stream maybe, as it's getting a little bit crowded in this main river here. But yeah, just want to say thank you, and also sorry for bringing the pause menu with the cursor in the middle to your attention. I have ruined Minecraft for a lot of you there, so I do apologize, but as I said, if I'm going to notice it, I'm bringing you down with me. Now usually for this type of stuff I would love to use replay mod, but unfortunately that's not yet available still. I'm really hoping it will be soon because I miss it so much, and I'm fed up of using my camera account. It's so much effort putting this all together, but I do it for you guys and I think it's all worth it in the end. But yeah, hopefully we'll have replay mod soon. But anyway, the first thing we're doing, as you can see here, is just kind of cleaning up the area a little bit, getting rid of the trees and removing all of the path blocks that were from the previous village that was here. So yeah, we now have a blank canvas to start work on. So right now what we're doing is placing down where all of the pathways are going to be going using yellow concrete powder. I've got a whole bunch of colours all in a shulker box ready to place down, so this area is going to be looking very colourful once we're done here. But yeah, the pathways are represented from the yellow concrete here. So I'm not placing in all of them. These are only the main pathways. There's going to be a lot of little offshoots and alleyways going in various different directions throughout all of the buildings, but I can't really place them in until they're all built up and said and done. So for now, these are just going to be the main walkways in the village, just so we have an idea of what we need to build around. The next thing to do is to place down all of our workstation buildings. So each of the villager professions are going to have their own building where they go to work in. All of them marked with their specific colour. I'll be sure to put a sign on them afterwards as well, just so I know which one is which. And I'm just laying out a rectangle or square shape for each of them. I don't know the exact sizes, so I can't place them in exactly how they're going to be once they're built up. But all of this is just to give us a rough idea, so it doesn't really matter too much. But the way it's going to work with the villager professions I want to trade with, they are going to have their specific building, as I said, that basically they're going to be trapped inside of. So take the armorer, for example. He will have the armory downstairs in the building with his bedroom upstairs. So he will be able to sleep and go to work every day, but also will not be able to get out of his house. So it's a little bit better than trapping them in a 1x2 area and just using them to trade with for the rest of their life. This way they'll have their own building they're able to roam around in, and it should still feel fairly immersive without having to risk them dying from any outside mobs that potentially might spawn, because I really don't think I'm going to be able to light up this entire village to above 7 light level. So yeah, each of the villagers that I'm trading with are going to be locked inside of their builds, and yeah, that's the way I'm going to do it. If it doesn't make a lot of sense now, it should do later when we actually build up one of these as a proper building. Originally, the plan was to have all of their villagers living in a separate house and going to work in a separate building. Obviously, with the plan we're doing right now, that doesn't work for all of them, but there are still some I would like to have walking around this place so that it feels like a real village. So all of the shapes I'm placing down now are just for general houses of other villagers that I don't really care to trade with, and so they'll be open to the elements and be able to run around the village and looking like a fully functioning community. But if a zombie does spawn every now and again and kills a couple of them, it shouldn't really matter as long as it's not a mass population wipe. I don't really mind. I really thought after placing all of these down we would have barely next to no room left, but we've got like half of this little area remaining to place some builds on. Obviously these aren't, exact to what we're going to build. They will probably be varying in size and be bigger than a lot of them I've done here. But again, it's just to give us an idea of what we've got going on. So I will probably add some more stuff on these open areas, whether it's just more houses or possibly duplicates. Say, let's take this build for example. What is that? The stone masonry. Maybe we have two of them with another one over there where we've got a bit more room. But for now, everything I've placed down is kind of like the main part of this area of the village. It's all getting a bit confusing. I've got a vision in my head of how this is going to look, and I'm trying to convey it as best as I can to you guys, but I think sometimes it just doesn't come across very well. So apologies if any of you are just a little bit confused by everything I've got going on here, but let me walk you through this area quickly. At the end of this yellow concrete powder line, we are going to have a small entrance there. It won't be anywhere near as big as that one and that one over there. Just a very small little hole in the wall, basically, so you're able to enter on foot. But once you come into the village via that entrance, we've got this main walkway here with a lot of the workstation buildings. So I won't show you what all of them are called, actually, because it doesn't really matter at this point. But we've just got a lot of them through the pathway, and I've tried to keep them all within the same area and kind of put the houses, back a little bit. Let's just fly up to the air again. So we've got the workstation builds that are kind of right beside the pathway here, and then we kind of go off to little sections where we've got a whole bunch of houses accumulated. That's my idea anyway, and most of the ones I've placed down that are not red color for the houses probably don't need a whole lot of explaining. I may just hop over here to the library, let's say, this larger one right here. I'm going to want to have a lot of librarians to trade with, so we're going to need some sort of grand library, which will probably end up being even bigger than what I've laid out here, but we've got a whole lot of room to expand upon, which is why I put it over in this section. I'm putting this fishing area, labeled it fishing shack, I think, just beside the water here, so we're going to have just a little thing there with our fishermen to trade with. And then I think the only other one which really might need some explaining is this big one over here, the lime colored concrete, which is going to be for the farmers. Now, I'm not really sure what to do with them. Obviously, we're going to want to have some sort of wheat field. So what I'm potentially considering doing is maybe having like a big section here, maybe ranging from like that cobblestone all the way up until maybe where the houses are laid out. We could have these being fields of wheat, and then possibly in the center have a windmill where we keep our farmers perhaps. I'm not sure, but I just wanted to explain why this one was kind of far away. This squid are at it again, look at them go. I just wanted to explain why this one is so far away and probably a whole lot larger than the others. I don't think the actual building is going to be this big, but I just wanted to kind of make sure we had enough land to build that on. So what do you guys think about the village plan? I honestly don't know whether I like it or not. I'm not sure at the moment whether it's going to help me or hinder me in any way, but I guess I will know further down the line once we start doing some buildings. Perhaps maybe this idea has helped some of you guys out if you're looking to start a new village or something like that. Not that I'm particularly experienced in this. There's some other videos out there. I know Whip makes some really good ones with this planning style here, which is kind of what I've been a little bit inspired by to do from watching some of his videos. But yeah, we're actually going to get on with some building now rather than just placing colorful concrete all over the place, which is actually going to be, where is it? I think it's that build right there. Yeah, I've designed a cleric building, so we're going to see if I can stick it in this gap here. to record my videos I use OBS, and I have for a very long time now. Never once have I had any really bad issues, but for the past couple of weeks, probably even months, I've been told to do an update every time I load OBS up, and I've kept putting it off, but before I started today's video, I finally caved, did the update, and I wish I didn't, because I've been having non-stop issues with this episode trying to record it. There's too many to list, and one of them that's a little weirder was when I was building this front of the house here. I will show you it if it actually works in the edit and lets me load it, or it's bearing in mind it's not corrupted, but hopefully you can see me building this, but you can't actually see the blocks being placed down at all. I don't know whether it's an issue with OBS or something going on with the camera account, but yeah, very, very weird to say the least. So you didn't get to see this being built, unfortunately, nor did you get to see around the back. So I'll do a quick swing around the back here. Pretty much the same as what we've got going on, and yeah, quite like how this building turned out. I don't actually know what it would be called. Like, for instance, the smithy is the blacksmith building, right? What would the cleric's building be? I don't know if it's got an actual name. You guys can maybe let me know that in the comments, but yeah, looking pretty nifty from the outside. It fit nicely into the gap that I selected for it here, which is always very nice. And if we head inside, you can see I have not done much work at all. All I've managed to do is capture a wandering trader and his llamas. The interior of our cleric's building is now done, as you can see if we just take a peek through the window, but let's actually head on in and take a look. If we open up the door, we get Mordor. Not quite Mordor. This is not Mordor. We get more trapdoors, to be specific. I'll talk more about why those are there in just a second, but for right now I want to show you what we've got going on the inside. So the cleric's workstation is the brewing stand, so we have to have this in here. I'm not exactly sure what else a cleric would do. They do have magic capabilities, right? So we've got an enchanting table over here, maybe to do some research, and then just general items used for the brewing or something, I don't know. This is meant to be where they get their water from. Obviously we can't have a cauldron because that is the leatherworkers workstation. We're gonna have to be very careful on what we actually place down on the interiors here, as to not place any workstations down, so it does limit me a little bit, but not too badly. So yeah, we've got that there instead, and through this door is where the bedroom is. We just got some stuff in here, not a whole lot, and we do actually have a ladder leading up, which obviously I don't think villagers can climb ladders, at least not intentionally, but we come up to the tower here, and I don't really know what this is for, other than it provides a pretty cool view. It's only a teeny tower, so yeah, there's not a whole lot to do up there. You guys remember the plan I was telling you about earlier on in today's episode? Well, if that confused you a little bit, hopefully this should now allow it to make more sense. So this is the cleric's building. Inside is where the cleric will stay, and he's not allowed to leave, but I am able to come and trade with him, which is why we have the trapdoors covering the main doorway here. So I will be able to exit and enter because I can flick these trapdoors open and close. Villagers can't do that, so he should be stuck in this building with nowhere else to go. We also have every block above 7 light level, so there's no mob spawns to worry about, and we also have a bed and a workstation. Those are the 4 factors we need to key into doing every single one of these workstation builds. So same will go with the butcher, same will go with the library, all of that sort of stuff. They need the trapdoors covering the doorway, the workstation, the bed, and the light level. That's all we really got to worry about. But now is where I need help from those of you who know your stuff about villagers. So what I'm planning to do is elsewhere in the world, honestly probably today I'd like to get to doing it, but I want to build a villager breeder, and then we're going to breed up villagers, and as we get them, we'll bring them over to their specific workstation building. So when we get a baby, we can make him a cleric and bring him on over, dump him in here. I want to know whether he's going to make that his bed and make that his workstation. Obviously, I wouldn't have traded with him, but is he kind of just going to do it on his own and pick this one, or is he going to try and go elsewhere to something else? I don't know how all that sort of stuff works, so if you guys can let me know if that is going to be, feasible, and also whether the fact they cannot leave the house and there's no other villagers around, is that going to be a negative thing? Because I know they gossip, but I don't know whether that's, a requirement. I don't know if they have to have that. So yeah, if you guys can let me know whether that plan is going to work or not, because the entire village kind of depends on it, so hopefully at least I can get something to work around doing it that way. I try not to do this all the time as it can be a little bit annoying for some people, but I think it's a good thing to bring up every now and again. So I am asking you that if you like what you see here, consider subscribing to the channel. I would appreciate it very much. I am coming up to 10k soon enough. I've only got 1,000 more to go at the time of recording this, and I've got a special planned which should be a really fun one, so look forward to that. But yeah, there are 86.5% of viewers who watch my videos who are not subscribed, so if everyone all click the button at the same time, there'd be a ginormous jump. It would be crazy. I know that's not going to happen, but maybe if a few of you do, that would be awesome. So thank you for doing that, and let's get back to the video. Come to think of it, I've decided I'm going to build that villager breeder I mentioned. I'm not sure which design I'm going to use. I'll have to have a scour around. I'm also not sure where I'm going to build it. Maybe I should do some research on that sort of stuff first, but yeah, that's what I'm going to work on now, and I may even actually move all of the villagers from under these stone blocks here we have dotted around the village, just away from this place and elsewhere. Maybe I can put them as part of the villager breeder. As you may be able to hear in the background, there are some villager noises going on because I have actually built up the breeder, and I was originally planning to do like a cool montage of this being built up each section, but I decided against that because villagers are very finicky and it was going to be enough effort to try and just get it all working, let alone worry about recording it at the same time. Very glad I decided against that because it's taken me a long while to get these guys in place and stop exiting their little hole here. I kept having problems with them like getting out the bed and being elsewhere. So yeah, it's the next day now basically. I've been doing this for a little while, but we've got it all set up. It's a design from Impulse. I'll leave it in the description if any of you want to check it out. I'm not going to bother explaining it because basically it makes babies. As you can see over here, they fall down into this area and they're dragged along, and we already have this little guy over here who is yet to grow up. And I think what I'd actually quite like to do now is hook up some sort of minecart system. I should be able to like feed a minecart into this block here or this one, and it should, I think, pick him up through the block. So I'm gonna do that, take him on over to the village and see if I can get him set up as our cleric. As you can see, we now have a rail leading up to the surface and out of the villager breeder area, all the way along the outside of the wall, and then we eventually end up inside the village and to the cleric's house. So that is the path one of our baby villagers are going to have to take. Oh, 3 now! Okay, about 10 seconds before I started the clip, there were 2 of them, and these guys are going a bit crazy. I might need to slow them down, but I don't actually have a clue how to turn the farm off, other than just to like break something, so it might end up meaning doing that, I suppose. But yeah, I cannot actually move them in place yet, I don't think. I suppose I could, but I'd rather wait until they grow up. I would just like to first make sure that I can actually pick them up in the minecart through the corner here. Good, okay, I can. That is the main thing I was worried about not working. So now I could either wait until this guy grows up to be a adult villager, but bearing in mind he could have been the one that has just joined this little group here, I may have to wait upwards to 20 minutes, and I don't really want to do that, so I think we're just going to send this guy on his way. It's about midday right now, so we should be good. Off you go, little buddy. That must have been a pretty long journey because he's now grown up into an adult. I did try and get a bird's eye view all the way up in the sky watching him go along, but as you can see, I ended up only filming myself because I was so high in the sky, the villager nor the minecart rendered down there, so that was a little bit disappointing. But yeah, this guy made it over, thankfully, no problems. He actually locked on to this brewing stand really quickly, like all the way, if I can just show you here, like over that hill, he locked onto it, so yeah, I don't know how he managed that. I'm going to set him free here and hopefully everything doesn't go wrong. Immediately tries to exit the building. That's not good. Don't do that. Bad villager. So I think what I should probably do now, because he's obviously a cleric locked onto this, right? I don't know if he's quite figured out the bed is over here. This ladder is also going to cause a problem. I've just realized he's going to try and climb that, isn't he? Maybe not, I don't know. But yeah, he seems to have locked onto that, so I think the first thing I've got to do is actually trade with him to lock his trades and, you know, make him definitely become a cleric for life, pretty much. Here's another test we have to do. Are you going to let me out of the building and not escape yourself? Hopefully he shouldn't be able to fit out of those trapdoors. No, as you can see, he's getting stuck behind them, so that works well. Awesome. It's still very persistent in trying to get out, though. I have got my 32 rotten flesh ready to trade with our villager, who is still determined to get out. Where are you, buddy? Have you found the bedroom? I put the ladders back. Oh. That's what I thought would happen, but then I thought maybe he's not going to climb the ladder and get stuck up there forever. Okay, I just need to trade with you for a second. That, hopefully, should now have locked his trades, and he should, in theory, now be a cleric in this building forever and see this as his home. Again, those of you who know villagers, have I just done this right? Is this plan I'm going to do for all of the workstation buildings actually going to work? Suppose I should get you down, shouldn't I? Let's try not to smack you with the axe at the same time. Yep, down you get. Looks like you're having no ladder all the way to the top. I might also have to get rid of the trapdoors because they are seen as a full block. Yeah, he's pretty stupid. He's trying to get through the trapdoors. Okay, we'll get rid of them as well. Just tear the whole house down at it while I'm at it, shall I? He just became the armor stand for a second there, but that's awesome. He's claimed the bed, so I think this has actually gone surprisingly according to plan. Very happy with this. I have made a couple of changes on the inside of the cleric's building here. I've shortened down his cauldron to just a single block instead of two, as he was trying to get through this gap and kept spinning around in it like a madman. So shortened that down and also filled this gap up with white terracotta. Put some paintings down, same on the other side. So unfortunately there's no ladder leading up to the tower, but I have put the armor stand that was in his bedroom up there instead. Unfortunately, guys, that is where we're going to have to call it for today. I was hoping I was going to be able to get a few more things done, but unfortunately I am out of video time today, so we will have to save that for next episode. You can see the door opening and closing there behind our cleric's building, but I think we've made some good progress this episode. We got a better idea of what we're doing with all of the villager houses, laid out a plan which hopefully should help me out, and also designed a very nice cleric's building. I will, of course, be sure to break all of the rail that still leads throughout the entire village, but I'll do that off camera. So yeah, guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. Next time we're probably going to do some more of these houses you can see behind me here, because I had a real ton of fun just designing and building them up, and of course moving the villagers into it. It's all working very well. Hopefully I will wait to see what you guys have to say on that, but yes, thank you for watching. I hope you did enjoy, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.